Thanks for coming along this evening. Everybody that's come here tonight, thank you very much. Okay, it's a pleasure to come here. Came here last year in August. To tell you a little bit about myself, my background, I just graduated a couple of months, 2 months ago, University of Hertfordshire, down in St Albans. And I've had the opportunity of planting big jobs all around the world, and I decided that I just didn't want to do that. While I was at university, I went through a transformation in my life back in 2008, 2009. I went through a transgender operation. I went from a female into a male. During those 5 operations, I had the most profound awakening in my life. And those experiences were both mystical and paranormal. And I found myself consciously waking up and having a data of information come to me, and I found myself travelling around the world, going to ancient sites and all kinds of strange things happening to me. Started off with angels. Now, angels, we're all angels. Anything in the universe with a soul is an angel. So all this about ETs and putting labels on them, and putting them into boxes, we're all angels. We are all beings of light. And in your Eastern cultures, they talk about Hinduism and Devas and Buddhism. It says in your religious cultures on the earth that you are celestial beings of light. Okay, your consciousness. So while going through these mystical experiences with angels, I was having feathers dropping around me and seeing lights and other paranormal experiences, which I'm going to be talking about later on in the slide. But I'm going to quickly whip through it as quickly as possible because I don't have very long. Okay, so I'm going to be talking about angels, ETs, light beings, UFO experiences, chakras, energies, and vortex portals and dimensions, awake and aware, and the war on consciousness and the future, what's happening now, because this is how profound all the experiences I've gone through. So I'm going to be talking about all of it. While the last 3 years, the experiences I went through while I was at university, I was guided by the higher beings. So I found out that I'm an earth angel here, a starseed. And I thought, what's that? While going through these experiences. And I had them in childhood as well. But I never spoke about it, because I'd come from a dysfunctional family. I was in a dark place for the last 40 years of my life. And, but being in the darkest place can bring you into so much light. And you just wake up and you're outside the box and you look at the world around you and you think, what the hell is going on? You think, what's happening? And you think, right, that's it. I don't want to be in this system no more. This is a prison planet. And I don't need the government to tell me my origins and who I am, not on this planet anyway. So I was guided by the higher beings to write the book. And in that time, I've been involved with the media. And to me, that's superficial, being a celebrity and all that in Hollywood, because it's all controlled by a very, very small few called the Illuminati, which to me, they're not human. They are interdimensional beings, or draconians, whatever you want to call them. And they are the ones, the very small few, that are controlling your systems, and they're feeding off your negative energy. They're using you as a food source. They control everything, the media, the education, your social, your health, everything. So I was guided to write this book, and I had a calling that I'm here to be of service and not to self-serve. So, and that book is due out, it's finished, I've been told, the end of March, the completion date. And there's a lot more than that coming within the media, but that's all I'm going to tell you for now. So that book, well, the thing is, right, the book's supposed to be called The Light Warrior. Okay, but because of my experiences with the angels that's in the book, they're going to put it as Transformation with the Angels, firstly. But The Light Warrior will be the second book, because that's going to lead on from that, what's coming. So that's what I've been told by the agent and the producers. So, but I was told by the Divine 4 years ago that there will be a second book. So they've already told me what was coming, but I couldn't, it was too much for me to take in. So I sort of had to take it in slowly. So, because I've been in TV and newspapers the last 4 years, but what's coming now, I know that it's time. So, and I followed my heart rather than followed the systems. So, because I woke up and I just don't want to be a part of it. I think it's absolute malarkey. Okay, all right, so as far as I know, it's the end of next month, March. It'll be published, and there's a documentary coming out as well this year. And there's more than that actually, but that's what I've been told. Okay, so leading on to what I just said. So I was guided to the Mayan Temple, 2012, guided to these, well, from 2011 and up, guided to these ancient sites. Having a profound awakening, found out who I was, why I'm here, what I'm here to do. Can I just say that even though the systems here are monstrous, that there is a lot of work being done now by the, should I say, higher consciousness in the universe, because we're not alone. Sorry, we are not alone. I'm going to explain that later with my experiences. Okay, the universe is teeming with life, but your governments are suppressing that information from you, because I've seen with my own eyes. They're suppressing that and they're not telling you the truth, because they're liars. They're not of the light. So basically, those experiences I went through being at university and up to now has brought me to this point in my life where I'm now got to be of service. So angels and ETs, as I've now talked to you about now, well, the Earth has been on a third dimension for a long time. It's dense, materialistic, and you feed off dead animals, you take dirty fossil fuels from the Earth. Materialistic rather than spiritual, and spiritual matters. You have a monetary system on this planet, and you kill each other, you're violent, there's no love, there's lack of compassion. That's the third dimension this planet's been on. And then all of a sudden, all these energies came in, 2012, the galactic alignment, which is what David Icke was talking about, and those energies have helped you to evolve your DNA. It's upgraded you, and it's awakened people up spiritually. Not everybody's going to wake up straight away. Some people may not wake up at all, but many have woken up, and many more are going to wake up now with what's coming. And I'll explain that in a little bit about the new energies coming in this year, 2015. So, without putting any labels onto it, we're all beings of light. The whole universe is based on consciousness. There are other dimensions higher. This dimension you've been in, third dimension, is now moving away from that and going into the full fifth dimension. Because I know from my experiences travelling around to the ancient sites and waking up, I found myself moving away from meat. I became more sensitive. I felt myself wobbling when I was down at the Mayan Temple in 2012 in Mexico. And I felt my whole body was changing, my whole spirit. I was changing. The experiences I went through with my operations, I weren't just changing physically, mentally and psychologically, but spiritually I was growing with it. I was changing, moving with the earth and changing and going with it. So lots of people have gone through different experiences. I've been seeing numbers. The universe is based on mathematics and geometry. So all this to do with numerology. I was seeing 1111 6 or 7 years ago. Now I'm seeing the number 555. And these numbers actually are here they're codes. They're a set of codes. They're here to help you. So by the universe, the high divine, angels, whatever you want to call it, it's the same thing. So I don't want to start putting ETs into boxes and start labelling them, because you're an ET too in the universe. The universe is teeming with life and different civilisations out there. They've been visiting the planet for the last 60 years and seeing your government here. And your government's not telling you nothing. They're suppressing it all from you. They don't want you to know. They've got technologies and information here that they just don't want you to know about. And they've probably sold you out for technology, for human life. So, because I know that my origins is not human. I'm human, but I have an alien soul. So there's a lot of us that have come here at this time because in the universe you have free will. They cannot intervene with planets of consciousness because there's higher dimensions. There's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 dimensions. And they feed off light and they travel around the universe consciously. But we're just not, as a species, you're just not ready there yet. But you are meant to travel the universe and you're not meant to stay on this planet. So in time that will come. So when you think of consciousness, there are higher dimensions than here. So ET, consciousness, everything is consciousness in the universe. Everything is connected, everything is one. The creator is the one. So that's why I don't get into religion. Because the people in power have used religion to separate the masses because they feed off that. Okay? There is no such thing as matter in the universe, it's energy. So consciousness is that. Your body is just a vessel. You are consciousness, and even when you pass away and you die, you are still consciousness. So when you talk about ETs and angels, you know, they've been, you know, many thousands of years ago, you know, the ancients probably saw them as angels because they could fly, you know, because they have wings, but actually it's because they're flying in ships. So it's the way you've interpreted them, but they are consciousness too. So when I say beings of light, as you can see there, there's several different colours there. I don't know if anybody's seen Pink Floyd before, or seen that on Pink Floyd on their album. Yeah? Yeah? The prism, yeah? Okay. Right, see the 7 colours there, they're the 7 colours of the chakras. Okay? And the chakras are the information centres that centres of information, energy centres that are in the human body, which is called the Merkaba. And those 7 colours are the same colours to the chakras. And basically, you are beings of light. This is exactly what I'm trying to say. And they're tethered to the human body, those lights, to the physical body. So spirituality, well, to me it's a science. It's a science. Even though I'm not into religion, I'm still spiritual. So you're immortal, basically, and those colours, when you split light, you get those 7 colours. And they're the same colours as the chakras, which I'll now explain to you about. Because I was guided to do the chakras while I was awakening by the angels or consciousness beings. During that time, I was meditating, and they told me to do that. And by doing the chakras, that helped me to channel with your higher consciousness, your inner soul, who you really are, and not what the government's trying to program you into. Your higher self, your soul, which is called the Merkaba, Mer meaning spirit, Kab meaning body, and meaning physical body. Now this comes from the East. The Eastern cultures, Buddhism and Hinduism, they know about this stuff. And it's only just now that they're bringing it over to the Western culture. And these information centres, the chakras, they are like the root is survival. As you can see, the orange one here is the sacral, which is production. That's the one that's connected to the universe. The solar plexus, which is tolerance and friendship, relationships. And the heart, which is, you know, love, compassion. And the blue chakra, which is communication, speech and teaching and so forth. And then the third eye, which is here, that's direction. And then you've got the chakra at the top, which is the crown, and that one is the, being able to see everything, basically. Now, those chakras that are connected to every single one of you here on the earth are also connected to the earth chakras on the planet. For example, you have Ayers Rock in Australia, and that's connected to the sacral. And then the root chakra there, which is connected to, in California, the mountain called, I think it's called, in California, the root chakra, which is... St.
Helens, isn't it, in California?
No, it's not St. Helens, it's Mount Shasta, thank you, Mount Shasta in California. Now, I don't know if you've heard, but there's a lot of UFO activity in Mount Shasta in California as well. There's a lot going on there. And then you have the sacral, which is down in Lake Titicaca, which I think is down in Bolivia in South America. And Ayers Rock in Australia. You've heard of Ayers Rock? How comes that big rock is such a very conscious place, so much energy there? And then the pyramids, Giza. Well, that's communication. That's on the human body, the chakra. And then you've got the crown chakra, which is in Tibet. Tibet, most spiritual place in the world. So these points on the earth, these chakras, they are also energy points. These ancient sites, they've been built on the earth for a reason. They are markings on the earth. And they've been put there for a reason by a higher intelligence.
Is that London I see up there?
Oh, that's the heart chakra there. That's going through Glastonbury. And that's probably why you get a lot of a lot of crop circles are there for a reason. I'm glad you brought that up. That's the heart chakra, Glastonbury. That's probably the reason why you get a lot of crop circles in the south of England. It's actually a gateway for them to come in. It's like it's a portal. Okay, it goes right back to the Druids. And there's a lot of energy being poured into those crop circles. They can just come in and out. Okay, I'll explain about that bit, about the dimensions in a minute. But I was guided to these ancient sites. I'm glad you mentioned that, London. The heart chakra is here in Glastonbury. That's a portal. That's the reason why you get so many crop circles in the south of England. I'm going to explain about that because they're helping the planet at the moment, helping with your upliftment and your involvement. Those crop circles have been put there for a reason. I'll explain that later. But yeah, that's a very, lots of energy now on that part of the earth chakra. The heart chakra there. It's a gateway and a portal for them to come in and out. So I'll explain that. So these chakra points on the earth are, carry a lot of energy, and there's lots of openings and portals and gateways. So it's all about energy, and your governments know about this. I'll explain about that later as well. Okay, next one. Okay, it's not the greatest picture, okay, because I'm not the greatest drawer, but I drew this picture because back in 2011, I had an experience. I've had quite a few when I was younger. I felt that I was missing time and that I'd been abducted, but that was done physically, probably. I was very, very little. But later on, going through my awakening, I began to see lots of paranormal things. I lit a candle one night and prayed to Archangel Michael because I was having a lot of mystical things happening around me. And I couldn't understand why at first. I couldn't feel, what's happening to me. I just felt like I was the universe. And I was looking at the stars and not here. I didn't feel that I was here. I thought I was there. I couldn't understand it. I didn't know who to talk to at the time. But I saw these lights outside my house, and they were like proper UFOs, and they were very, very close, literally outside my window. The house I was in Berkhamsted in Hertfordshire, and the window pulls are open, and they were there for an hour, and I felt connected with them. I felt telepathic with them, because in the universe, the higher evolved beings, they're telepathic. We talk, they don't. Eventually, in the future, we'll be able to be telepathic with each other. And we'll be able to pick up on each other's energies as well. That's another thing. So if you start lying to people when you're not being truthful from your heart, you can pick up on it.
People can,
Because
but they're not aware of it.
Oh, I can.
Yeah.
I'm tuned in. Because I've become more spiritual. I'm tuned in now.
Can.
Oh, I can. I feel things. I'm tuned in. And the more you meditate, the more you can channel in. The more you're in tune with everything around you. You're in harmony with everything around you.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is people deny it.
Oh, yeah, but you can't lie to me. You can't lie to me because I can feel it. I can feel your energy. We can, you can't. Not where I'm coming from. So, yeah. So, in time to come, because at the moment we're evolving, and consciously we're growing and we're changing. In time to come, that will happen. You'll become, well, even now, people now are doing it already.
That's what I was sort of saying.
Yeah, they're doing it already. Yeah. Well, in time to come, you will be doing it without talking.
I don't know whether it's of any interest to you, but that is drawn from above. You're not on ground level, if you follow me.
Yeah, because I'm in the bedroom.
That's what but I'm saying the drawing itself is if you're higher in your bedroom, you follow me, you're not on a standing level. You've drawn it as you may well have been up in the air. Do you follow me?
Yeah. Oh well, it felt like that.
That's exactly what I'm saying. You weren't standing on the ground when you drew it. You were up higher. The whole thing is drawn as if you're above it. It's just me. I'm sorry.
Well, in a way, they were kind of level with me from the window.
Yeah.
They were that close.
No, it was just, as I said, it's not a criticism, it's the fact that you weren't on floor level when you drew it. When you remembered it, you was above.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, thanks. Anyway, I'm not the best drawer in the world. I try and be
No, there's nothing
creative.
wrong with the drawing. It's just saying you've done it from a higher level
Yeah.
than if you were standing on the floor.
Okay.
Sorry,
So your
it's just,
consciousness must have been somehow off the floor.
It was.
yeah, well that's what
Oh,
I'm
God,
trying to get
yeah.
at. I'm sorry.
I thought I was going crazy. No, seriously. I mean, the angels bit, I was telling the university, I thought, right, I can deal with that bit. Hang on a minute, can I? Because I appeared on TV in 2010. And I told Eamon and Ruth, I just want to say, I want to give thanks to the angels, It started off like that. And then it started leading on to other things. So I thought I was going crazy. Until I spoke to people around me, then I thought, okay, I'm not alone. But that went on for an hour. They were outside my window, 2 of them. And they were flying at such a speed, nothing mechanical to anything here, technologically wise. And they were going at a very fast speed outside my window, back and forth. So, I don't need the government to tell me anything, because I've had a lot more than that happen to me the last few years. So, I don't need them to tell me my origins, that's for sure. So, and I was guided to do this. So there we have it. So when you talk about abduction, you've got those that are experimented and they're being harmed, which could be unpleasant, which you hear about around the world, because I'm speaking to people within the media networks, and I'm hearing different stories where people have been abducted and they've been treated not pleasantly, shall I say. And there's been a lot of different abductions, especially in America. I'm hearing it. So, and they've not given them permission to do it, and then they've forgotten about it, and many have been quite traumatic from it. And then you've got the other kind of contact, which is Billy Meyer. I don't know if anybody's heard of Billy Meyer. He's a man from Switzerland, and he had contact with the Palladians. He walked around with one arm, he lost his arm, and they were communicating with him for years and telling him about certain things on the planet and what was going on and so forth, if you check out Billy Meyer. And then you've got the experience type where you're neither abducted nor in contact, which I've had. And it's just a clear memory of a soul agreement, which I think that I've done with them before. Because you reincarnate here, that's another thing, okay? The Buddhists got it right on your earth. You live, you're spiritual beings having a human experience. So don't think that you just come here, you're born, you're dead, and that's it, because it's not. That's not it. I lost my father 2 years ago before flying out to Mexico, and I knew that he'd gone back to his vortex. You know, he's just back to his consciousness anyway, just he doesn't have his body anymore. You go back to the vortex and you reincarnate, you come back. And you come back many times.
Have you ever been regressed?
Regressed?
Taken back to previous lifetimes.
I've had dreams. I've had dreams, and I feel that with what we're talking about now, I've woken up 2 or 3 in the morning and I've had UFOs outside my door. And I've spoke to my mum, she said, you're telepathic with them. I've had an agreement that they can take you in your sleep, only if you've had an agreement with them. I've had an agreement with them, that's what I'm trying to say to you before I come here. So my experiences and what I've woken up to and what I've been guided to say, I know now. Okay, and they can't do it unless you've made an agreement with them before you come here. So you do reincarnate. There's a lot of that have come here now to help the planet, but they've done it from the inside, because there's, like you have a United Nations on Earth, they've got a galactic council out there. The universe is so big. My father was planted the seed when I was a child, talking about Albert Einstein and talking about energies and everything. So, you know, I was already, I thought I was awake then, but I wasn't. That wasn't my journey then. It was later on when I woke up that I knew what my journey was. When I had my profound spiritual awakening, I knew what I was here for, my journey, and the experiences I had. So they're helping from the inside. And basically, a lot of us have come here now with special gifts and tasks and missions to help this planet, to bring you into a higher consciousness and to help you into the light, and so you don't go and blow yourselves up, basically. Yeah, because that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to start Third World War, and you know, really they want to get rid of you. They want, I'd say, there's 7 billion people on this planet. They've built a set of stones in Georgia, in America. I don't know if you've seen that. But their agenda is to have a new world order. They want Agenda 21. They want to get rid of you all as a population. They see you as a disease. You're just cattle to them. Because the people that are, the entities, shall I say, that are ruling this planet are not human. Okay, they're not from here. They're what you call the parasites of the universe. They feed off negative energy and feed off you as a food source. So there's many beings that have come on and off this planet for eons, but they've come here for your upliftment and to help you to evolve. But the entities, the beings that are here now, are not here for that. They've got no compassion for human life. Because if they did, they wouldn't be throwing all this negative energy in the media and start bombing up loads of children in the Middle East and killing innocent people and causing terrorism around the world, because there's no such thing as terrorism. It's some made-up thing that they've made up. So that's why I don't pay attention to the media or the news or anything to do with it, because I know it's all a lie. It's not the light. Light is information. So anyway, so they can take you like through your, as in physical body, they can float you up, take you out the window, I don't know. They're technologically more advanced than you are here. They can do that. thousands of years ahead, some of them. Like Travis Walton, it's based on the film Fire in the Sky in America. He was out in the woods one night with some friends. He went to see a light, and he went out to check it out, and his friends they were tree cutters. They were still in the car, his 6 friends, and it like just beamed down on him and then took him up in the ship, just like that. And he's actually wrote a book about it, and they took him in the ship, and he was gone for a while, and spoke about his story. So the effects of missing time, that's what I've had looking at a clock as a child, and then the other experience I've had over the years is the other one with the experience. So there's different types of abduction that they can do, basically. Okay. So, another thing, this is what I've experienced, and if anybody out there you're going through this, you may be experiencing this too now as well. UFO triggers, okay. While waking up through my experiences, I was guided to orbs, become more telepathic, meditation, chakras, and then communication with these beings, and crop circles and so forth. Because what's happening now is you are awakening, because you are multidimensional beings, you know, you're awakening now to a multidimensional galactic planetary human family out there. That's what's happening now here on the earth, and there'll be many more people now that will probably be waking up and experiencing this now on the earth. Now that you are consciously waking up on the planet, there'll be many, many more people now having these experiences. Not just me, lots of people now, because of what's happening, because you are part of a galactic family. Okay. So, with the frequencies and the downloading of information, and then, you know, the human DNA, you are evolving, and so forth. Symbols, codes, languages, and all this, people will start to begin and start experiencing now as well. So, like myself, I was guided to the sites, had a date of information come to me, become more telepathic, and just changing completely, coming away from the systems. Like the guy that was here tonight, he's a teacher, or he was. So many people were going to come away from this. They're going to deprogram themselves away from the systems, and they're going to start following their heart. And that's what's happened to me. And there'll be many more people out there doing the same thing now. Okay, types of beings. Okay, the governments here says about 60 species. There's more than that. Okay, so there's many types of beings out there, extraterrestrial, that can travel here as a body. It'll take them years to get here. Primitive, which is the 4th dimension, and then the extra dimensional, which is 4th, 5th and 6th. They can come through a portal, and the universe has many portals and vortexes and dimensions. And then you've got the interdimensional beings. Okay, in the Hindu religion and Buddhism, they call them devas, fallen angels, demons. These are the beings written in your Bible text on the earth. These interdimensional beings are the ones, they're the parasites of the universe. They call them jinns, or probably the draconians, and it's in the Quran as well. And these are the beings that are not on the higher dimension, they're in the lower dimension, and they're the ones that feed off negative energy and look at you as a food source. And they're the ones here now on the earth that are in your governments. They're just puppets. The beings that are in control now are the ones that are controlling your systems here. And then you've got transcendental, and then you've got the time travellers. And as I said earlier, you've got the higher dimensions, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, much higher dimensions out there. They're thousands of years ahead of you. Eventually, one day you will be there. And like I said, you are meant to travel the universe. You're not meant to be here. So there's different types of alien types. I feel connection with the Pleiades. Some here are Arcturians, Nordics. They're the ones working with your government. You've got the tall whites, you've got the greys, but of course there's many different types. You've got the mantids. Simon Parker's had an experience with them. The Andromedians are another type. They're very much, they look like the humans, and so do the Pleiadians. Then you have the lion people, and then you have the star seeds and the hybrids and the walk-ins. So that's probably many others like me out there that have come in at this time. So they have the human body, but we've got an alien soul.
I'm interested in the lion people because they visited me. Human
Okay.
body, lion head, 3 of them
Really?
in a dream.
Yeah, I said the dream state, 'cause
Yeah.
I've had it
They were
dreams.
standing by my back door and they
No, I
said,
can
"Go
quite-
in peace. Go in peace."
Yeah.
Very lovely being, serene.
Yeah, I think I've heard some stories. I've heard through people have had contact with them type thing. But also the mantids are really nice as well. But they look like insects. They're really nice beings. But the ones I'd stay away from are the draconians. But not all reptilians are bad. Okay, the ones that you need to watch are the ones with the long tails, like the royal types, because the royal family are not human. They're not human. I've heard they're not. The royal family of your earth, they're not human. All those that are in your states, in your governments, are not from here. Not, their DNA is different to yours. So I'll give you an example. So I've got to bring this up. My mum is 66. She has no idea about the internet. She doesn't even know what's going on in the world. All she does is watch the news. I don't watch TV personally. I haven't for years. I've deprogrammed myself away from it because I know that it's mind control, manipulation, because everything you read on there is negative. None of it is real. It's like watching a stage show to me. Seriously. Okay? Since my awakening. And my mum watched the news one day and she saw Barack Obama on TV. And she started screaming. Because she's psychic, my mum. She's clairvoyant. And she said, I couldn't believe what I saw. I looked at Barack Obama and his face was like all out here and he looked monstrous. And I didn't tell her nothing. I didn't tell her nothing about what's going on. She saw something. And if you're psychic and you're tuned in consciously, you can see things. Because David Icke speaks about them shape-shifting. They're just on a different frequency to you, that's all. Because everything's based on frequency and dimensions in the universe. So they're the malevolent type beings. They're not here for your upliftment. They're not here to help you evolve, and they've got no understanding, love and compassion. Whereas the other types of beings here, they've got a different agenda. So the lion people, and I say the mantids, I've heard. The greys are okay, some of them, but many of them are not. I heard their species are dying, and they've been abducting. They've made a deal with the government, so they've been abducting a lot of people because they're worried because their species is dying out. There's different types of greys. Okay,